Why does AI sometimes forget what you said? The answer is context window. It's the AI's working memory. The more context it can remember, the better it responds.
So today we discuss about AI context window. So what does mean by the context window? So whatever we do the process with the LLM, so it holds some data, and based on that data, it processing and it gives the answers whatever the context is happening. Simple example for the context. When I am talking with someone, so whenever we are talking about something, so we need such context. When we discuss something, so there is a such topic. That topic is stored in our mind and then we discuss to someone. So very similarly, the LLM also holds some data which is called the context window. Now we understand in this diagram. Here you can see. So what is the context window? I show you in diagram. So that is AI context window. That left side is the maximum amount of text or token, which is something as a data. An AI model can consider that data at a time when generate such response. So it holds some memories inside itself. That is something which is inside their mind and it holds that memory with that response. So that is called the process of context. Now we talk about what are the types of that context window. That is short context window, that is medium context window, and third one is large context window. Now we discuss about in detail how we hold this data as a context and the response will generate based on that context. So we must understand what is an AI context window. So AI context window is the maximum amount of text or token an AI model can consider at a time when the generate response. It defines how much prior information such as user instructions, conversations, the history or documents the model can remember during the single interactions. So whatever we are discussing with this AI, it holds some memories, it holds some text, it holds some tokens, which is based on it gives such a response to us. Now we elaborate all the things about context in different aspects of the topic. So we covered today the meaning of it, why does the AI context window matters, working with it, types of it, benefits, limitations, use case and best practices. So we understand why does this AI context window is matters. So the AI context window play a pivotal role in determining how efficient AI can process, understand and respond the complex instructions. So based on that context, it holds some data and give the response to us. So it understand what we are talking to them, right? And it gives the response to us. So LLM is holding some data, holding some text. Now the conversations continuity. So here the large context window allow us to system to remember the prior inputs, maintain the consistent tone and provide the coherent responses. This especially critical can customer support chatbots, personal AI assistants, long form content generation. And right now the LLM, there are big players like a Claude, even we have a GPT, even we have a Gemini. So all have a different models. For example, recently you may heard about the Claude Fable 5. There is a huge context window. It holds the much memory. So you can develop such ERP level projects as well as a development or coding. So that is context window, holds some data and remembers the prior input, maintain the code consistency or the contain that contains whatever you are discussing about. Now we talk about long form content generation. So for example, whatever the context it has, so based on that it generates some content. So long form content generation is possible easy. So AI writer or content creation tool benefits the significantly from a broader context window. With this available the key points, the logical flow of across the section is maintained. AI reduce the repetitions and contradictions. Sometimes we are feeling the AI generating something which is repetitive. So that is based on context. It may reduce the contradictions and the repetitions. So AI can generate the extended narratives and it also helps to write some research papers, which is something based on the memory of context. So it generates the long form of data. So that is the importance of this context window. Now we talk about code and technical analysis. For example, we talking about the context window, how it helps to code and technical analysis. AI assistant programming and large context window allows us to understand of entire the code basis. For example, we have a something to develop and we have a good context window. So we hold that data and it generates the code based on that huge amount of data is stored in their memory. So that is help us. Another one is analysis of dependencies and relationship between the modules. For example, it has a good context, so it understands different modules output, it understands to interface between these two modules or do the coding accordingly. So that is very good example. If we understand the whole project, then we do the best code. So very similarly it applies over here. Another one is debugging and assistance for the complex programs. For example, sometimes we are testing something but we don't know about the things, so how we test better way. So that is needed for the context window. If you have a good, then you debug and do the process.
Want to know how AI actually uses the context window at every response? Watch my next video where I'll explain it step by step with examples. See you there.